Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today we're going to start a new series called Beginners Essentials. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom, and we believe that trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of what it takes to consistently become a better trader right from the beginning. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a model portfolio so you can view our positions and progress. The link is down below. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button. All right, so let's begin. So today is our first little lesson on Beginners Essentials, and we talk about the basics to trading consistently. So here are the essential components to consistent profit. First thing you need as a beginning trader is confidence, discipline. You also need to be very independent. You need to be able to work hard, and you need to have a desire to trade. So let's break these down a little bit more. So the first thing is confidence. And this is a little bit hard for a lot of beginning traders, right? And understand why. Because it's really a catch-22. In order to be a winning trader, you need confidence. But in order to have confidence, you need to win. And really the key is that you need confidence over the long run. That's why you really need like a deep level of confidence in yourself, in your plan, and all the stuff that you've done. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit more. So the next thing you need is discipline. So I have a core group of traders that I hang out with, and a lot of them trade cryptocurrencies, and they've been doing pretty well. They use futures on BitMEX. They trade altcoins on Binance and Bitfinex. They go long, they go short. But every one of them, when I talk to them, what they say is that discipline, right? It's the single most mentioned word from consistent, profitable traders. And that's why they always have a plan. That's where the discipline comes in. By having a plan or by having a strategy, they're not really shooting from the hip all the time. What they're really doing is they have a consistent idea about what to do in any given situation. So the next thing you need to do is you need to be independent. So you need to have your own opinions. And this can be very hard for people who are beginning. They follow blogs, they look at all these news sites, they read magazines, they read headlines, they listen to guys like me maybe, or some other people. And then so what ends up happening is that they end up becoming a follower. And here at Altcoin Mentors, what we're trying to do is we're trying not to have followers, we're trying to have students. We want you to learn. We don't want you to just follow exactly the things that we do. What we want you to do is we want you to learn, see what we do, and maybe tweak it a little bit and change it to your own. Or maybe you just like say, you know what, that doesn't work for me, or maybe that doesn't sound right. You can question. It's okay. The things that we do might not be for everybody. So for example, if you look at the video from on Sunday, Charlie was talking about his trading, and one of the people asked him a question online about the differences between Charlie and I's trading. He said that he pointed out, like, how do you get to a consensus when both your trading styles are so different? And so that's really the key, is that we are very different. I have over 20 years of trading experience. I'm mostly a day trader. I'm a technician. I like to use a very simple like price action movements. I like to see volume. So where Charlie will use an Elliott wave, he knows a lot of the fundamentals. He does more like swing trade and long-term stuff. So we have different styles. So that's why it's okay to be a little bit different. You need to have your own opinions. That's why you can't be swayed by the crowd or even other superior traders, right? If I say, oh, I don't think that what you're doing is right, you can ask me, well, why? Like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? And I can give you my opinion, but that's all it is. It's just my opinion about it. It's not a fact. Like, if you make an order entry error, that is a fact, right? If I see that you're, managing a little bit too much, that's still an opinion, because maybe to you, you can handle that type of risk. So you have to be able to separate the opinions from the facts. And so you can't be swayed by other people's viewpoints. this is the hard thing. This is hard work. And what ends up happening is that you need to be able to read a lot. Which means go online, get some books, go to some workshops, and then after you read, you need to do some analysis. You need to dig down and say, are the things that I've read, are they true? In certain situations, in every situation, what are they good for? What time frame, etc. And then once you've done that, then you need to do the prep work. That's why even though I've done a couple of videos on beginning series, on successes, on lessons and tips, I haven't really talked about the technical analysis yet. And the reason why is that this is where the hard work comes in, because this is all part of a plan, of a strategy. The idea is very simple, is that too many people put a over importance on the charts and on TA, right? And not enough importance on profit management, risk management, money management, and even like the psychological and emotional management. Because what you need to do is on a daily basis, you need to get up in the morning, get ready to work, right? Which is get ready to trade. Then you need to figure out what the action of the day is going to be, how much you want to make today, or how much you want to make in a month, or in the 6 months, or a year, or in your lifetime. How much are you willing to risk in terms of capital in this one trade, right? Or in your whole portfolio. Then you need to break it down. And then you have to wait for your setup, and you have to ask yourselves, okay, so is this a trendy day? Is this a choppy day? Am I going to swing trade? Am I going to day trade? Is this going to be a position trade? So this is where all the work comes in. And then finally, then there comes TA, right? And then you say, okay, now that I have decided I'm going to do a swing trade, then you have to say, okay, by looking at a swing trade, I'm going to look at a 6-hour chart, a 12-hour chart, and I'm going to wait for this. Maybe you use Elliott wave and you want to get into a little support zone where things look a little bit cheaper. Maybe you follow support and resistance. Maybe you follow MACD or RSI or stochastics. But whatever it is, that's what I mean about. And then you have to have the confidence to be able to pull the trigger and actually make that trade. So there's a lot of preparation that comes in before you actually even look at a chart. And that's really the key, is that TA is overemphasized a little bit too much, and the other parts of it are de-emphasized. And that's why, like my experience as a trader for over 20 years, technical analysis and looking at the charts, right, does play a smaller role because every one of us are very different. And because of that, you can't have one single system that is good for everybody, or that is just good for Bitcoin, or good for and for Litecoin and for Ripple and all these other coins. And then maybe you can trade NQ, which is a NASDAQ futures, or the Euro, or ETFs. You have to become a specialist. Bitcoin reacts differently than Litecoin and Ether. It also reacts differently than index futures and also Forex. And also especially like stocks and ETFs. So every one of them are different. So they all have different time frames. They all have different support and resistance levels. They all have different ATRs. So you can't just randomly start trading something, right? You need to be able to do the hard work, do the analysis, do the prep work, and then look at the charts, figure out what you want to do, figure out how much money you want to risk, how much money you want to make, and then have the confidence to pull the trigger. And the last thing here is really desire. And so here is a little bit different, is that for me, the desire is the persistence to excel. This is not about making money. So everyone thinks that the only outcome that you can have as a good trader is just by making a lot of money, right? And that's not really true, because that could be the end outcome. You could burn through a lot of your accounts, and over and over again, you could be a bad trader, and then you can make a lot of money. So you're a bad trader for a lot of years, and you made money. Or you could start off strong and you could be actually a bad trader but make a lot of money. I've talked about this before. You could be a bad trader and actually make money because the things that you're doing are so wrong, right? But in a short time, that stuff works. But in the long run, does it really work? That's why this is to excel, to be able to do this for the long run on a consistent basis, so you can be profitable over a long period of time, so that you can achieve your goal of financial freedom. So that's why the idea for me, and one of the things I remind myself every single day when I trade, is trade to trade well, forget about the money. That's why you've seen me on Twitter and also on Telegram talk about how I put myself in a timeout. There was a time last week when I traded Bitcoin rather poorly, So I stopped trading Bitcoin for a day because I wasn't doing that well. I mean, I still made money. And that's the bad part about it, right? So people are like, how could you be upset? You still made some money. But it's not about making money. It's about trading well. So when I feel that I'm not trading it well, right, then I will put myself in a timeout and just relax a little bit. Because the end goal I know is that if I keep on trading badly, I can make money. But I can only make money for a short period of time. Where I want to be very, very consistent, right? And that is really the key, is that you want to be consistent for a long period of time. So the expert in anything was once a beginner. And that's really a very good thing to understand, is that as we begin, it is very tough. But guess what? If you're watching this video and you have a desire to trade, you are on your way. And that's because we also have to take our first step, right? Tomorrow is dictated by what we do today. So there's always a great phrase about you can't go back in the past and have a new beginning. But starting today, you can actually, write a new ending. And that's really the key, is that you can always have a choice. So instead of focusing on TA, if you're a beginner, on charts and analysis and looking at the things about, my God, I could make so much money if I trade this here, if I use leverage, if I do this, right? Put yourself in a calm place, read some books, do some analysis, and then, once you do that, then you'll have a better understanding of what it takes to become a consistent trader. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. We have a few other coming attractions. We have trading lessons, trading tips. We have a success series. We also have this beginner series. And I do promise you that eventually I'm going to go into technical analysis. We're going to start that in our beginning series in the near future. We'll talk about the different chart patterns, support and resistance. We'll talk about the Ichimoku cloud. We'll talk about the Heikin-Ashi. Talk about moving averages, stochastics, Keltner channels, RSI, MACD, Elliott wave. I've gone through them all, right? I know most of them. I'm one of the rare people who actually can do most of the formulas in my head. I don't need to go to Investopedia or some other place and say, oh, what's the formula for exponential moving average, or how do you do what's the what does MACD stand for? Even sometimes people don't even understand that, right? It's moving average, convergence, divergence. People just say, oh, it's MACD, MACD, right? Or RSI. How do you compute that? So because I've been doing this for over 20 years, back before computing power was really slow, we used to have a compact 386. Big old floppy drive. We didn't even have a hard drive. We had dot matrix printers. We had RGB graphics, and these monitors that weighed 50 pounds. And so we had a lot of the stuff we had to do on a HP 12C calculator. Right? So we had to actually input the formulas because back then we were using a Lotus 123 instead of Excel for spreadsheets. So because of the lack of computing power, it was faster just to use a calculator. So we're going to go over all the TAs. We'll go over the pros and cons, and maybe some of them you'll like, maybe some of them you won't like, because that's the key. What you have to do is you have to find something that resonates with you, and then take a step back, figure out how much money you have, figure out what you want to trade, do the hard work, dig in deep. And then TA comes in last, because you can pick almost any type of TA and it'll work if you do it on a consistent basis. So hope you enjoyed our video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. Please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. We do a very good job of answering all your comments and questions right away. So once again, we thank you very much for watching and following us.